Hey everybody, it's Robert the Other Weasley here coming at you with, you guessed it, another Harry Potter related video. Now I just want to mention before we get started that I have been dreading making this video due to the circumstances. In this video, I'm going to be joined by my good friend from England, Luna. She runs a channel called the Luna Diaries and you can check her out at the link below. I'm going to let her introduce herself right now, so I'll be right back.
Hello everyone, my name is Luna from the Luna Diaries on YouTube. It's a bit strange to be on Robert the Other Weasley's YouTube channel, as he is actually someone who got me into YouTubing in the first place. Not only is he an incredibly amazing human being, but he's very inspiring, and yeah, he wanted me to introduce myself and I don't actually know what to say at all. Ever since I started making YouTube videos, me and Rob said we wanted to collab on a few things, and sadly the circumstances are not that great in which we're making this collab. I don't actually know why I'm getting a bit emotional about this on video. Alan Rickman, who is our beloved Severus Snape in Harry Potter, died on the 14th of January 2016 of, I think it was pancreatic cancer. Apart from Luna, Severus Snape was my second favourite character from Harry Potter. I loved him very much. I loved him in the book, but I have to admit Alan Rickman put that special little touch on Snape and made Snape who he was. In my opinion, no one could have played Snape the way Alan did. Alan was a Potterhead just like the rest of us. He loved the Harry Potter book and he put his heart and soul into Severus Snape. I think when he passed away, the Harry Potter community genuinely mourned as if they'd lost a member of their family, because our community is very much like that. Rob asked me if I were joining him in doing a collab of talking about our favourite scenes and moments to do with Severus Snape. There is quite a lot, but because I have to pass this video over to Rob to play with, I won't go on too much.
Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that we're going to be covering scenes from the movies, not the books. While the books do have some amazing Snape scenes on their own, we really want to just talk about Alan Rickman and the legacy left behind as Snape.
Let's get started, shall we? When we think of Severus Snape, the one thing that comes to mind, which I personally really loved, was his voice. Drawling, kind of sexy, seductive, naughty voice. It was either incredibly evil or very seductive and alluring. So, in my opinion, when I think of Severus talking, no one could have played it better than Alan Rickman, because it was just his voice. It could either kill you or arouse you, or that sounds a bit weird to say, but he just had one of those voices.
One of my favourite Snape scenes in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is when Snape is covering for Remus Lupin's Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson. You see him walk into the class, he shuts all the shutters in the classroom, making it extremely dark and sort of like just that eerie feeling in the room, and he just like turns around, faces the class, and turn to page 394. That's just one of those lines, the classic lines that he had that I think everyone really like remembers, and I honestly quote that line so much in my real day-to-day life. Just, you know, randomly out and about I quote Harry Potter all the time, but I do quote Snape quite a bit.
One of my favourite scenes of Snape is, I think it's in the Goblet of Fire, when Harry and Ron are talking about the Yule Ball and he just comes up behind them and is casually like, ah. And it's just so comical. I love the little twitches. They only like go down like by an inch. He just feels the need to just pull his little sleeves down just the tiniest little bit. One of my really big favourite scenes for Snape was in The Prisoner of Azkaban, when Remus Lupin is transforming into a werewolf and Snape's just been hexed, and he just comes out of the Whomping Willow and sees what's going on, and he literally throws himself in front of Harry, Ron and Hermione, hugging them from behind, as if, I know he's a professor and that would be his job anyway, but it was literally like this. And when Harry runs off, he can't grasp Harry in time, but he grabs hold of Hermione and will not let her go. I know it is his job to protect his students in the school, but I also feel like that was a part of him as well. That was Snape.
Another one of my favorite scenes from Prisoner of Azkaban is when Neville's in the Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson facing the Boggart, and it comes out of the wardrobe just like, you know, just like regular Snape, and it starts approaching him. He is ridiculous, and he transforms him into Snape dressed in Neville's Grand's clothes, carrying around, you know, the purse and like the big frilly hat and everything. I just thought that was one of the funniest scenes, and Alan Rickman was such a good sport for doing that. Fantastic scene from the movie.
One of my favourite scenes has to be one of the first ever scenes of Snape. When he bursts into his potions classroom and is just like, "There'll be no foolish wand waving in my class." That's where I fell in love with Alan Rickman's voice. It started from that moment, and admittedly I'd seen Alan Rickman in other things like Die Hard and Love Actually and things like that, but I never loved him enough yet, kind of thing, until he portrayed Snape, and I was just like, this man is just perfect. There'll be no foolish wand waving in my class.
One of the scenes that I really enjoyed from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is when Harry's chasing Snape down after the whole lightning struck tower incident, and Snape reveals that he is the Half-Blood Prince. "You dare use my own spells against me, Potter? Yes, I'm the Half-Blood Prince." Another Snape scene that I wanted to mention is in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, during the Great Hall scene when he faces off against McGonagall. Right after Harry's done his whole "how dare you stand where you stood" speech, you see McGonagall step out and you see the look on Snape's face. He's just like, he didn't want it to come to that. He didn't want to have the showdown between them. You know, McGonagall's starting to fire spells at him just like, you know, one after another. But if you watch Snape in that scene, before he flies away, he's deflecting those shots straight into the Carrow twins who are behind him.
Another one of my favourite scenes has to be in Spinner's End, when Snape makes the unbreakable vow with Narcissa over Draco, and Bellatrix is there, and I loved reading that in the book, and I feel like Alan really did that scene very well.
The final scene that I wanted to talk about is one of those ones, of course, that everyone has to talk about. If you're talking about Snape, you have to talk about this scene, and it is the Prince's Tale. One particular moment in the sequence of scenes during the Prince's Tale that really struck me, like, in the heart, was not just the whole Dumbledore's office scene where it's like the "after all this time, always" part, but it was the sort of build up to that, and the moment where you see Snape in Godric's Hollow and he's walking up the stairs and he goes over James's body and goes down the hallway, and you see him just collapse because he sees Lily dead on the floor. And then there was that next scene where you see him like cradling her body in his arms, and that destroyed me when I first saw it. And like, even still, like, if I watch that scene, I'm not coming out of it with a dry face. Like, I'm crying. I'm gonna be bawling my eyes out at that scene for the rest of my life.
I love a lot of scenes with Snape, and there's a lot more special ones, like when he says "after all this time, always" with Dumbledore, and when he has to kill Dumbledore. Always. I didn't want to give too many scenes because I know Rob has to download this video from me to put it into his video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. That is all the Snape scenes that we are going to be talking about today in this video. I just wanted to extend a thank you to Luna for joining me on my channel and helping me with this video. If you like this video, please go check out the Luna Diaries and subscribe to her channel. She's a great friend of mine and she's an amazing person, and I think we're probably going to be doing some more collaborations in the future, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Rob, for letting me be on your YouTube channel. Knots.